Welcome back, my dear children, to the mathematics class. What were we learning till now? We learned about numbers. The first 4 chapters were about numbers. Today, let us move on to the 5th chapter, that is fractions. You all know what fractions are, right? Fractions represent a part of a whole. So children, what you see here is the mind map for our video. Under fractions, you would learn about fractions as a part of a whole, fractions as a part of collection, representing fraction on a number line, types of fraction. Under the types, we would learn about like fraction, unlike fraction, proper fraction, improper fraction and unit fractions. And then we would learn about equivalent fractions and then fraction in its lowest terms, comparison of fractions, addition and subtraction of fractions, and also word problems related to fractions. When I thought about fractions, the first thing came to my mind is pizza. Do you like pizza? It's yummy, right? Here you see a pizza. And what else do you see? 4 hands. There are 9 pieces in total, okay? And 4 hands. So 4 of them want it. So what portion of pizza is taken away? It is 4 out of 9 parts. And how to represent it in fractions? As 4 by 9. Then what portion is remaining there? It is 5 pieces. So we can represent it in fraction as 5 by 9. So now we learned about fraction as a part of a whole. And how to represent a fraction? As number of equal parts considered by total number of equal parts. So in the previous example, we got a fraction as 5 by 9, isn't it? Here, the number which is above is called as the numerator and the number below is called as the denominator. I have 8 sketch pens with me. I divide it into 4 sets, 2 in each set. And those 2 are of almost same color. How many sections are there? 4 in total. Each section is 1 by 4 of the collection. So, the number of sketch pens in each section is equal to 1 by 4 of the total number of pens. How many pens were there? 8. So that is equal to 1 by 4 of 8. So by this, what we understood? We understood that fraction can be represented as a part of collection also. We already learned how to represent whole numbers and integers on a number line, right? You remember that? Yes. So now let's see how to represent fractions on a number line. I have a question here to represent 3 by 5 on a number line. For that, what we have to do is, we already know that 3 by 5 is less than 1. So look at the denominator. It is 5. So from 0 to 1, make 5 equal parts and then mark the points. Got it? So, first point is 0. The next point will be 1 by 5. Next, 2 by 5. Next, 3 by 5. Next, 4 by 5. And at last, 5 by 5. What is 5 by 5? It is 1. Now, you can easily find where 3 by 5 is. It is here. So, mark this point, and this is how to draw a number line of fractions. Now, let's move on to the types of fractions. Like and unlike fractions. What are like fractions? The fractions having same denominator is called as like fractions. For example, 1 by 7, 5 by 7, 3 by 7, etc. And what are unlike fractions? The fractions having different denominators. For example, 5 by 9, 2 by 3, 15 by 17, etc. So children, we learned about like and unlike fractions. Now let's see what are proper and improper fractions. The proper fractions are one in which numerator is less than the denominator. And improper fractions are one in which numerator is greater than the denominator. And the value of proper fraction will always be less than 1, and the value of improper fraction will always be greater than or equal to 1. The examples of proper fraction are 2 by 3, 4 by 5, 6 by 7, etc. And the examples of improper fractions are 5 by 5, 9 by 4, 10 by 3, etc. Have you heard about mixed fractions? What are mixed fraction? The fraction containing a whole number and a proper fraction. For example, 5 1 by 2. Here 5 wholes and 1 half. This is a whole number and this is a proper fraction. Okay? And we can convert improper fraction to mixed fraction and vice versa. First, let's see how to convert improper fraction to mixed fraction. I have an improper fraction here, 25 by 7. How to convert it to mixed fraction? First, you divide 25 and 7. Okay? The normal division I have done here, and I got 3 as the quotient and 4 as the remainder. How to write it in mixed fraction form? We can write as 3 4 by 7. First, write the quotient in the place of whole part. Okay? And the remainder as numerator and the divisor as denominator. So, 25 by 7 is equal to 3 4 by 7. Now let's see how to convert mixed fraction to improper fraction. We'll take the same example, 3 4 by 7. Okay? The next step is multiply both these numbers, that is 3 into 7, and then add this numerator to it and divide completely by the denominator here. It is 7. Now 7 into 3 is 21 and 21 plus 4 is 25. So we got 25 by 7 back, isn't it? So this is how to convert a mixed fraction into an improper fraction. Now let's see what is a unit fraction. The fractions in which the numerator is 1 is called as unit fraction. For example, 1 by 3, 1 by 9, 1 by 100, etc. So children, we learned about like, unlike, proper, improper and unit fraction. Now let's see what is equivalent fraction. Two or more fractions representing same part of a whole is called as equivalent fraction. Okay? So let me ask you, is 1 by 2, 2 by 4, 3 by 6 and 4 by 8 equal? It is equal. I'll show you how it is. So we were talking about equivalent fractions, right? Here you see 4 square boxes, isn't it? Yes. And in this square box, it is divided into 2 equal parts and one among them is shaded. I'll write the shaded portion in the numerator and the total parts in the denominator. So this square box I represent as 1 by 2. Okay? And when you see this square box is divided into 4 equal parts. So I write that in the denominator and the shaded portion. 2 parts are shaded. So I write that in the numerator. And when we move on to this square box is divided into 6 parts and 3 among them is shaded. I write that in the numerator. And moving on to this square box is divided into 8 parts and 4 among them is shaded. Now when you see this, all the shaded portion are the same, isn't it? So we can conclude that 1 by 2 is equivalent to 2 by 4 and 2 by 4 is equivalent to 3 by 6 and 3 by 6 is equivalent to 4 by 8. So we can conclude that 1 by 2 is equal to 2 by 4, 2 by 4 is equal to 3 by 6 and 3 by 6 is equal to 4 by 8. That means all 4 fractions are equivalent fractions. So there are 2 ways to form equivalent fractions. The first method is multiply numerator and denominator by a same non-zero number. Here I have 1 by 3. Let me form a equivalent fraction with 1 by 3. Multiply 1 with a non-zero number. Let me take 2. Multiply numerator and denominator by 2. So I get 1 into 2 is 2 and 3 into 2 is 6. Therefore, 2 by 6 and 1 by 3 are equivalent fraction. The second method is divide the numerator and denominator with a non-zero number. So when you divide, make sure to divide with a number that is completely divisible with. I have 3 by 6 here. Let me divide both the numerator and the denominator by 3. So when I divide by 3, 3 by 3 is 1 and 6 by 3 is 2. Therefore, 3 by 6 and 1 by 2 are equivalent fractions. So when you get any fraction, okay, you multiply the numerator and denominator of the fraction with any number and the fraction which you get will be equivalent to the first fraction. Similarly, when you divide both the numerator and denominator by a same non-zero number, you will get a fraction which is equivalent to the first one. So children, how to check equivalence of a fraction? When two fractions are equivalent. For example, I have a by b equal to c by d. Then the product of numerator of the first fraction to the denominator of the second fraction will be equal to the product of denominator of first fraction to the numerator of second one, that is b into c. So always when you have a fraction like this, a by b equal to c by d, then a into d will be equal to b into c, and this process is called as cross multiplication. For example, let us check two equivalent fraction, 1 by 2 and 2 by 4. Cross multiply. 1 into 4 is equal to 2 into 2, isn't it? We get 4 equal to 4. Therefore, we can conclude that both of these fractions are equivalent. You may find a question to find x. Here it is said that 3 by 2 is equivalent to 12 by x. How to find x now? You have to cross multiply. When you cross multiply, you get 3 into x is equal to 2 into 12. Now, place the x in its position, and since here it is multiplication, we have to take it to the other side and it becomes division there, isn't it? Now, for this I didn't change any position. When I take this 3 to the other side of equal to, it comes down. Now 2 into 12 is 24. So 24 by 3 is 8, isn't it? So the value of x is equal to 8. Our next topic is fraction in its lowest terms. The fraction in which the HCF of numerator and denominator is 1 is said to be in its lowest terms. Okay? When you get a question like this, first find the HCF of numerator and denominator, and then divide the numerator and denominator with the HCF, and finally you will get a fraction, and that fraction is said to be in its lowest terms. Got it? I'll explain you with this example. Here I have a fraction 5 by 45. What is the HCF of 5 and 45? It is 5. You have already learned HCF, right? So, now divide both the numerator and denominator with 5. When you divide 5 by 5, you get 1. And 45 by 5 is 9. Now, what is the HCF of 1 and 9? It is 1. So, this fraction is said to be in its lowest terms. Now, let's move on to comparison of fractions. First, let's see how to compare like fractions. When you get few fractions, first the denominators are already the same. So, look at the numerator. The one with the smaller number is the smallest fraction. Here, when you compare 3, 7 and 5, 3 is the smallest, isn't it? So, 3 by 8 is the smallest fraction. And now, when you compare 5 and 7, 5 is smaller. So, the next smallest is 5 by 8 and 7 by 8 is the larger one. So, this fraction is less than this one and this is less than the final one. So, children, now let us see how to compare unlike fractions. When you get two fractions with same numerator, then you have to see the denominator. The one with smallest denominator is the largest among them. Okay? Here 7 is smaller than 9, isn't it? Therefore, 5 by 7 is greater than 5 by 9. When you get any question with same numerator, you have to see the denominator, and the one with smallest denominator is the greatest fraction. Okay? So, when you get unlike fractions with different numerators, what you have to do? First, find the LCM of denominators, and then we have to convert this unlike fraction into like fraction. For that, multiply the denominator with a number such that you get the LCM. I'll explain you with this example. I have 5 by 8 and 7 by 9 here. Okay? First find the LCM of 8 and 9. It is 72. Now, look at the denominator. It is 8. You have to multiply 8 with a number so that you will get 72. What is that number? Yes, it is 9. If you multiply 8 by 9, you will get 72. When you multiply the denominator by 9, you have to multiply the numerator also. So, when you multiply 5 by 9, 5 into 9 is 45. So, we got 45 by 72. Now, the other fraction is 7 by 9. We have to multiply 9 by a number so that you will get 72. What is that number? It is 8. So, multiply and divide by the same number. What is 7 into 8? It is 56. And 9 into 8 is 72. Now you got 45 by 72 and 56 by 72. Now it is as like fractions. Now we have to just look at the numerator to find which is smallest and which is largest. Here 45 is less than 56, isn't it? So we can conclude that 5 by 8 is less than 7 by 9. Got it? So children, now let's see comparison of mixed fractions. When you get two mixed fractions, first look at the whole part. If the whole part is greatest, for example, if you have 3 and 5 as the whole part, then the fraction with 5 as whole part is the greatest among them. Okay? But when the whole parts are same, what to do? Here I have a question. 2 4 by 9 and 2 5 by 12. Okay? Here the whole part is 2 and it is same. So just look at the fractions here, 4 by 9 and 5 by 12. Then as we did earlier, find the LCM of denominator. Here LCM of 9 and 12 is 36. So how to form 36 here? When you multiply 9 by 4, we get 36, isn't it? So multiply the numerator and denominator by 4. So we get 4 into 4 is 16 and 9 into 4 is 36. And when we move on to the other fraction, how to make 36 here? 12 into 3 is 36. So multiply the numerator and denominator by 3. So we get 15 by 36. Here it is 16 by 36. Here it is 15 by 36. So obviously this is greater than the other one. So this one we had taken from this mixed fraction and this is of this one. So we can conclude that 2 4 by 9 is greater than 2 5 by 12. When you get any question like this, when the whole parts are same, you have to just take the fraction and then find LCM and convert it into like fractions and then find which mixed fraction is greater and smaller. So children, when you get a group of fractions, how to compare it? You have to find the LCM of all the denominators and then solve as we did earlier. Okay? Here I have a question. 5 by 6, 2 by 3, 5 by 9 and 7 by 12. How to compare? Find the LCM first. LCM of 6, 3, 9 and 12 is 36. Now take 5 by 6 and when you multiply 6 by 6 you get 36, isn't it? So multiply the numerator also by 6. 6 into 5 is 30. So we get 30 by 36 here. When we move on to 2 by 3. When you multiply 3 by 12, you get 36. So multiply the numerator also by 12. 2 into 12 is 24. So we get 24 by 36. When we move on to next fraction, that is 5 by 9. When you multiply 9 by 4, we get 36. So multiply 5 also by 4. So we get 20 by 36 here. And next it is 7 by 12. 12 you multiply by 3, we get 36. So multiply 7 by 3, so that we get 21 by 36 here. And then we got the like fractions. So compare the numerators. 20 by 36 is less than 21 by 36. This is less than 24 by 36, and this fraction is less than 30 by 36. So that 5 by 9 is less than 7 by 12, and it is less than 2 by 3, and it is less than 5 by 6. This is how to compare fractions which is in a group. So children, now let us move on to addition and subtraction of like fractions. Here I have a question. 7 by 3 plus 1 2 by 3 plus 2 by 3. Here one fraction is in mixed fraction. So let us convert it. 1 into 3 plus 2. 1 into 3 is 3, 3 plus 2 is 5. So this mixed fraction we can convert it as 5 by 3. Now all the denominators are same, so that we can add the numerators and put the same denominator for all. So when you add 7 plus 5 plus 2, you get 14. So the fraction is 14 by 3. Now when you convert this 14 by 3 to mixed form, it becomes 4 2 by 3. And when we move on to subtraction, you can do the same. Since the denominators are same here, you can subtract the numerators. So 9 minus 3 is 6. 6 by 7 is the answer for this problem. Got it? So children, we learned about addition and subtraction of like fractions, isn't it? Now let's learn addition and subtraction of unlike fractions. I have a question here. 6 by 7 plus 3 by 4 plus 2 4 by 5. What you have to do first is find the LCM of denominators and then convert all the fractions to like fractions and then add as we did earlier. Okay? Here this is in mixed fraction, so let's convert it. So 5 into 2 is 10, 10 plus 4 is 14, so 14 by 5. Now it is 6 by 7 plus 3 by 4 plus 14 by 5. Okay. The next step is to find LCM. The LCM of 7, 4 and 5 is 140. Okay. Next, let's convert this to like fractions. For that, when you multiply 7 by 20, you get 140. So multiply the numerator also by 20. So 6 into 20 is 120. So we got 120 by 140. The next fraction is 3 by 4. When you multiply 4 by 35, we get 140. So, multiply the numerator also by the same number. So, we get 105 by 140. And 14 by 5. When you multiply 5 by 28, we get 140. So, multiply 14 also by 28. So, we get 392 by 140. Now, we got the same denominators. It is 140. So, we can add the numerators. So, 120 plus 105 plus 392 by 140. When you add all these numbers, we get 617. So, 617 by 140, when you convert to mixed fraction, we get 457 by 140. We learnt addition of like unlike fractions, isn't it? Now, let us see subtraction of unlike fractions. Here the question is 2 1 by 3 minus 9 by 5. As we did in the case of addition, let us do for subtraction also. Here the mixed fraction, let us convert. So, we get 2 into 3 is 6, 6 plus 1 is 7. So, this is converted to 7 by 3 minus 9 by 5. Now, the LCM of 3 and 5 is 15. So, take 7 by 3 first. When you multiply 3 by 5, we get 15. So, multiply 7 also by 5. So, we get 35. So, 35 by 15. In the case of 9 by 5, when you multiply 5 by 3, we get 15. So, multiply 9 also by 3. So, we get 27 by 15. Now, as usual, subtract 35 and 27. 35 minus 27 is 8. So, we get 8 by 15 after subtracting. Children, now let us move on to word problems related to fractions. The question is, a cook used 3 2 by 5 kg of vegetables for a dish. He used 1 by 2 kg of potatoes, 1 3 by 4 kg of onions and some beans. How much beans did he use? So, children, what is given in the question? Total weight of vegetables is given as 3 2 by 5 kg, and the weight of potatoes and onions are given as 1 by 2 kg, and for onions it's 1 3 by 4 kg. Now, the question is to find the weight of beans. Here, first we have to find the total weight of potatoes and onions, and from the total weight of vegetables we have to subtract this weight so that we will get the weight of beans. So, when you calculate total weight, 1 by 2 plus 1 3 by 4. First, add the whole part. 1 plus 1, it is 2, and then see the fractional part. This is 1 by 2 plus 3 by 4. Here the denominators are not same. So, we have to convert this to like fraction first. So, the LCM of 2 and 4 is 4. So, convert this 2 to 4. So multiply the numerator and denominator by 2. So in this step we get 1 by 2 as 2 by 4 and remaining are as it is. And then keep this 2 plus as it is and add 2 by 4 and 3 by 4. So when you add 2 and 3 we get 5. 2 plus 5 by 4 is 2 5 by 4. So you have understood this part, I guess. And then to find the weight of beans we had to subtract this from the total weight of vegetables. So 3 2 by 5 minus 2 5 by 4. Here first you convert this mixed fraction to improper fraction. So we get 3 2 by 5 as 17 by 5 and 2 5 by 4 as 13 by 4. And then we have to find the LCM of 5 and 4, it is 20. So multiply 17 by 5 by 4 and 13 by 4 by 5. So after multiplication we get 17 into 4 as 68 and 5 into 4 as 20. So 68 by 20. And here 13 into 5 is 65 and 4 into 5 is 20. Now we got the same denominator. So we can subtract the numerator. When you subtract 68 and 65 we get 3 by 20. So the total weight of beans is equal to 3 by 20 kg. So children, in this video we learnt about fractions. Fractions as a part of a whole and fractions as a part of collection. Then we learnt how to represent fractions on a number line. And then we learned the types of fractions like, unlike, proper, improper and unit fractions. Then we learned about equivalent fractions. Then about comparison of fractions, comparing like fractions and comparing unlike fractions. Then we learned how to add and subtract fractions and also word problems related to fractions. Hope you have understood fractions. Take care. Bye.